Cozy co-author. Let's be honest, writing a novel from scratch has always been an intimidating mountain to climb. Historically, if you wanted to become a published author, you had to master a dozen different disciplines at once. You needed a firm grasp on narrative structure, an ear for dialogue, strict editing habits, and an encyclopedic knowledge of your chosen genre, not to mention the sheer willpower required to stare down a blank page day after day. Artificial intelligence was supposed to change all of that, but as many aspiring authors have quickly discovered, the reality of AI-writing tools often falls short of the dream. The market is flooded with AI prompts that generate text, but most of them produce weak, uninspired, and wildly generic drafts. The plot wanders aimlessly, characters completely change their personalities, or hair color. By chapter 3, the word count is artificially inflated with unnecessary filler. And worse, the prose just sounds like a machine wrote it. Readers are savvy, they can spot raw AI output from a mile away. This exact frustration is why Cozy co-author immediately caught my eye. Unlike the sea of mediocre prompt generators, this system promises to help everyday people write publish-ready cozy fantasy novels using Anthropic's Claude. It relies on a highly structured framework consisting of just 2 core files and a meticulously guided setup. By simply answering 14 creative questions, Claude is instructed to generate comprehensive planning documents. From there, the system holds your hand as you draft the manuscript chapter by chapter. The brain behind this system, Sadila Denson, claims this isn't just theoretical. Using the pen name Kit Ellis, he utilized this exact framework to write and publish the Whiskers Wildwood trilogy. According to his sales data, these books didn't just sit on a hard drive, they achieved real Amazon category rankings, racked up thousands of Kindle Unlimited page reads, and generated actual royalties from human readers. What exactly is Cozy co-author? At its core, Cozy co-author is an innovative, 2-file AI-writing architecture designed specifically for Claude. Its primary goal is to help you craft full-length cozy fantasy novels optimized for the Amazon KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, and Kindle Unlimited platforms. Here is what makes it so appealing for newcomers. No more blank pages, you are never forced to invent a story out of thin air. No structural guesswork, you don't need a master's degree in creative writing to pace a novel. Zero technical barriers, if you know how to copy, paste, and read, you have the technical skills required. The system essentially acts as a set of guardrails for Claude. It injects the AI with narrative structure, strict voice control, specific genre tropes, a logical planning phase, and rigorous continuity tracking. The workflow is elegantly simple. Upload the 2 foundational files into a Claude project. Respond to 14 guided setup questions to shape your narrative. Allow Claude to generate your foundational planning materials, your story bible. Draft your novel 1 chapter at a time, providing feedback along the way. Follow the included training to edit, format, and publish your book on Amazon. Beyond the AI framework itself, the product features a massive 23-module educational course. This training covers the entire life cycle of a book, moving from initial concept and routing to formatting, cover design, self-publishing, marketing, and eventually scaling your standalone book into a lucrative series. Deep dive, key features of Cozy co-author. Now that the foundation is laid, let's explore the specific mechanics that elevate Cozy co-author above the standard AI prompt generators available online. The 2-file core architecture. The entire engine runs on just 2 files. By pasting these into Claude, you instantly program the AI with the structure, pacing, and tone required for a novel. It eliminates the steep learning curve of prompt engineering. The 14-step guided questionnaire. You are never left to guess what happens next. The system asks you 14 highly specific questions to build your world and plot. Even better, each question comes with multiple choice options and creative explanations, allowing you to design a rich story even if you've never written a creative paragraph in your life. Strict genre enforcement. The framework is laser-focused on the tropes and expectations of cozy fantasy. It actively forces Claude to prioritize warmth, low-stakes conflict, and character bonding, ensuring the final product matches market expectations perfectly. Comprehensive planning documents. Once your 14 questions are answered, Claude generates a robust set of materials, including a comprehensive story bible, deep character profiles, and a rigid chapter-by-chapter outline. This prevents the story from derailing later on. Controlled, chapter-by-chapter drafting. One of the biggest mistakes writers make is trying to generate a whole book at once. Cozy Co-Author paces the process. You generate one chapter, read it, tweak it, give feedback to Claude, and then move to the next. You remain the director of the project. Aggressive prose quality control. The system features built-in directives designed to strip away the I voice. It actively bans common filler words, repetitive sentence structures, and the vague, flowery descriptions that models tend to default to, resulting in much more natural-sounding prose. Ironclad continuity tracking. The framework commands Claude to remember vital plot details and character traits, drastically reducing the infamous eye hallucination problem where characters inexplicably change midway through the book. Massive 23-module training academy. You aren't just getting software, you're getting an education. The course covers the entire spectrum of self-publishing, from writing the first word to formatting the final manuscript and launching it on Amazon. Visual learning tools. For the visual learners, the training is packed with interactive screenshot walkthroughs and video tutorials so you can watch exactly where to click during complex steps like KDP formatting. Amazon KDP Mastery. You will learn exactly how to navigate Kindle Direct Publishing. This includes formatting your manuscript, designing a cover, pricing strategies, and pushing the publish button. The series scaling strategy. Finally, the system trains you on how to parlay a single successful book into a long-running series, maximizing your financial return on the time invested. Inside the bundle, what exactly do you receive? If you decide to pull the trigger on Cozy Co-Author, you are granted access to a surprisingly dense bundle of assets. It is explicitly designed to take you from a vague idea to a live Amazon listing. Here is the exact breakdown of the package. 1. The Master Cozy Fantasy Framework. This is the undeniable engine of the product. It consists of hundreds of lines of meticulously coded instructions that dictate Claude's pacing, tone, style, and narrative execution. It features 9 distinct voice profiles mimicking successful authors, strict genre rules, and powerful anti-prose safeguards. Without this file, the magic simply doesn't happen. 2. The Setup Prompt Ecosystem. This is the file responsible for the planning phase. It initiates the 14-step guided conversation. By utilizing your multiple-choice answers, Claude processes this file to generate a multi-document story bible. It turns a fleeting thought into a rock-solid structural foundation. 3. The 23-module Publishing Masterclass. A comprehensive written curriculum that leaves no stone unturned. You will learn how to plan a cohesive story, how to execute the setup prompts properly, how to manage the chapter drafting phase, techniques for editing and polishing an manuscript, how to format the book for rereaders, the exact steps to publish on Amazon KDP, free and paid promotional strategies, how to outline and launch subsequent books in a series. 4. Visual aids, screenshots, videos. Because text-based instructions can sometimes be confusing, the creator includes interactive screenshot sequences and over-the-shoulder video guides for the more technical aspects of the publishing process. 5. Progress tracking. To prevent you from getting overwhelmed, the modules are broken down into actionable steps. You can check off your progress as you go, which is a fantastic psychological tool for maintaining momentum. 6. Marketing and KDP strategy. Writing the book is only half the battle. The bundle provides concrete advice on how to handle pricing, cover creation, and utilizing free promotional tactics to get your book in front of actual Kindle readers. 7. Free lifetime updates. The creator has committed to updating the framework as a technology evolves, meaning your purchase won't become obsolete in a few months. Workflow. How does Cozy Co-Author actually work? The process is remarkably streamlined and broken down into 3 distinct phases. Phase 1, the planning stage. You begin by loading the 2 primary files into Claude and engaging with the 14-question prompt sequence. Because Claude offers recommendations and logic for every option, you don't need to be a creative genius to make good choices. By the end of the session, Claude will hand you a finished story Bible, robust character sheets, a world-building guide, and a chapter-by-chapter outline. Your foundation is set. Phase 2, the writing stage. With the outline locked in, you instruct Claude to begin drafting Chapter 1. You read the output, request any necessary adjustments or rewrites, and approve it. Then, you move to Chapter 2. The genius of the underlying framework is that it forces Claude to maintain the same tone, pacing, and continuity from page 1 to page 300 days, something that usually breaks down in long-form writing. Phase 3, the publishing stage. Once the manuscript is finished and polished, you pivot to the training modules. You'll follow the step-by-step guides to format the book using tools like Kindle Create, design an appealing cover, set up your author profile, price the book strategically, and deploy promotional tactics to start driving sales. The core difference: system versus prompt. If there is one thing you take away from this review, it should be this: most type products on the market sell you prompts. Cozy Co-author sells you an ecosystem. A standard prompt might write a funny scene or a descriptive paragraph. A system, however, oversees the architecture of an entire novel. Consider what is actually under the hood here: a 780-line master genre framework, a 568-line setup and planning prompt, 14 structured steps of creative development, 9 distinct author voice profiles, hard-coded banned word lists to kill cliches, continuity enforcement logic. Sadilla engineered this specifically to combat the hallmarks of bad fiction of the floaty pacing, the purple prose, the forgotten plot lines. That level of engineering is the product's strongest asset. The prose: incredibly beginner-friendly workflow, exceptionally low entry price, $17, with massive ROI potential. No recurring subscription fees for the core system. Custom built to maximize Anthropic's Claude, currently the best model for fiction, hyper-focused on a highly profitable, binge-heavy niche, actually helps you write a full novel, not just disjointed scenes. Provides end-to-end publishing and marketing education, backed by a solid 14-day refund policy. The cons: the front-end product is strictly limited to the cozy fantasy genre. Other genres require an upsell. While it works on the free version of Claude, serious users will likely want to pay for a Claude Pro subscription to remove usage limits and work faster. Writing the book is only step 1. You still have to put in the work to market and position the book properly. Royalties are never guaranteed. Thank you.